Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We're in game two between Goomba and Polarity. Jumping into that draft once again. I'm Llama Down Under, joined by
Reserve time.
PqMz. I am not 100% sure what to expect. They're actually normally first bands come out pretty fast. I wonder if Polarity is trying to keep something funky in.
Dire team ban.
Maybe they were just like, talking about something. Lil was prioritizing what he was saying instead of banning. I wouldn't be surprised if Goomba
Radiant
banned like
team
the
ban.
Prophet this game, but if Polarity play their cards right, it's really hard to ban something like a Prophet and not let OD or something that a lot of teams prioritize really highly through.
Invoker and so on.
Like Earth
10
Spirit
seconds
makes
remaining.
complete sense that they have to ban it out. But I wouldn't be surprised if Polarity
5
just first pick the
seconds
Prophet
remaining.
if bans go as standard. Because it worked really well for them last game. They seemed really comfortable playing that
Reserve
kind of
time.
style. They made a few high ground mistakes, but or they could throw a
Dire
curveball
team
and
ban.
say, "We don't want it this game, so we're not going to give it to you either." And maybe they get the OD. I can't
Dire
really,
team pick.
because if they ban, I don't know, say they ban the Wisp, or no, wait, I don't think Goomba plays Wisp as well, so they probably don't care about banning it. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels weird. But at the end of the day, it still works out in their favor.
Yeah, definitely. So, Polarity going to get the OD.
10
They
Is this
can
where you
seconds
call
remaining.
GG?
No, I actually think that a lot of teams are getting a lot better at
5
handling
seconds
OD. A
remaining.
lot of the top teams are realizing that if you shut OD down early, he's not one of those mids who can easily flash
Reserve
farm back
time.
up, so you can really extend the period of the game.
You can just safe lane him as well, though, and have the support around him early to stop that happening. So there are still ways to deal with people dealing with him, which, is what I think will start coming soon.
Yeah.
People finding the ways to, first pick him and not care what's going to happen, like a lot of heroes have in the past. Like, take Alliance. They give Bulldog like his hero first stage for so many patches in a row, and they still find ways of making him super relevant. People can do the same with OD or Invoker, which, is still possible here.
Yeah.
The Goomba didn't seem to favor it last game.
It's it's really interesting that both of these teams are taking like they've dipped really early on into reserve time. I wonder if Goomba are so, used to just banning out the OD that they weren't expecting it.
It might be like, okay, how are we going to deal with this? What do we want to prioritize? 'Cause there's a lot of counters in the pool. Like, say you consider Nyx like a must-have hero against OD.
Radiant team
It
pick.
might get banned in the next stage, but do you really want to Nyx this early when you're not sure what you're laning up
Yeah.
against, how you're going to have to run it? Could it be more susceptible to us picking the hero than it is how beneficial it is against OD? Because if it's only good against OD, which is, very rare, but say everyone else is like really early BKB heroes or shit like Lifestealer, which is very good against Nyx, it could be like a bane to
10
you. So they
seconds
go with something
remaining.
much more standard. Chen Lone Druid. You could ignore a
5 seconds
OD if you
remaining.
just push the towers and win the lanes. And LT can actually win the lane against
Reserve
OD,
time.
especially with Chen helping him out.
Yeah, I think Lone Dur Chen, it's a strong opener. It's really good. And I really like that they're not shying away from picking some of these heroes. Obviously, Polarity, there was a little bit of outplay last game, but I don't think the right course of action, is to like pick something easier. Chen can be a bit difficult because you really have to hit your timings, your smokes have to be on point, and it's somewhat luck based depending on what you get in the jungle. But
Especially if Polarity just pick Bounty now.
yeah.
That that is like the flaw of this opening. If you want Lone Druid mid against OD, who in theory comes out equal if not ahead, Bounty shits on that. Bounty also stops Chen doing what he wants to do as effectively. Really good Chen players can play around mediocre Bounty players. So I think it kind of just is player based in that respect, but it's what they used to.
Radiant
I
team
suppose
ban.
Doom's like a slightly more versatile version of the bounty. He doesn't have to put so much pressure early. He
Dire
can
You
also
think
team
it's
just
the
ban.
like,
support Doom?
well, it doesn't have to be. It could also be an offlane Doom, and then it's slightly harder for Chen to gank him. He can always go and hunt the Chen if he is a 4 position Doom. I don't like Doom so much against either of the heroes though, in
10
terms of like
seconds
how the
remaining.
fights go, because you don't really care if you Doom a lone druid. Okay, maybe you stop him
5 seconds
casting Savage
remaining.
Roar on himself, but the bear can still do it. If you Doom the Chen, you're stopping a heal and a mech. Maybe
Reserve
that
time.
could be super valuable, but he's generally further back. And if you Doom anyone else, he can just heal them up. So I think it's less for the Doom and maybe more for the laning stage presence and maybe the ganking. Because if you just Astral someone, Doom walks in
Dire
with like a
team
stun
ban.
creep or something, he can very easily get kills at like level 2 if he goes boots first.
Definitely. I mean, I don't doubt the Doom. It's just an interesting pickup. I wasn't sure if it was.
10 seconds
I
remaining.
mean, it's an early pickup. Maybe they're also worried about it coming out against
5
them. You know,
seconds
sometimes you don't
remaining.
want to play an OD into a Doom. They're gonna ban out the Faceless Void because them's the rules. Don't want OD with that guy. Also the Broodmother.
Dire team
Just kind of very standard banning stuff. If you know the other team has a competent Broodmother player, which you do, you have to get rid of it. So, for the Venge ban out, do you think Polarity planning anything special there? Like
It's
something
just
like the
really
bat?
good with like Lone Druid Chen. The same reason it was like good last game with the Aura. You know, it would
Radiant
just
team
fit
pick.
into a timing that Goomba would probably want to hit. And I also think Carry Venge is like really good in this kind of lineup, so that would mean it's not just a support hero as an option. You could also run it in that way, so I like it as a ban. Uh,
I mean,
I think
oh, what were we gonna say?
I think the
Dire
Doom
team pick.
actually works fairly well against Fijaro as the game like progresses. So it might not be ideal for Goomba, especially as it's quite a greedy hero already. Like if Chen it does farm early and then maybe Lone Druid either gets pressured out the lane if he's off lane or he wants to rotate into the jungle if he's mid because he feels this pressure from like the Doom running at him. They might have like the same problem they
10
did last game
seconds
where their
remaining.
lineup's slightly greedy. And if they lose the
Radiant
laning
team
stage,
pick.
they're looking to pretty much just be a 5-man lineup. If they win the laning stage, then they can kind of play the more takeaway map control and out farm you game while still scaling. This Pugna is interesting though. It's really good against OD for the ward, but the hero's generally pretty bad. Even in push lineups, I find it very hard to fit it in
Dire
unless it's a
team
core
ban.
position.
And they do end up going for the Bat Rider. I Yeah, as you said, I think mostly probably the Venge ban was just so they didn't have to deal with early push. But now Polarity also just have a world of
10
different ways of dealing
seconds
with that
remaining.
stuff. You can pick off a Bat Rider that kills a push dead. They can use the Wyvern to have the Chen and his
Radiant
creeps kill
team
someone,
ban.
or the Lone Druid's own bear kill him. Like, it's not great. Not. It's just not a fun lineup to push into.
Yeah, I kind of like how Polarity are opting to deal with it. They haven't gone too all into one thing. Like
10
they still have
seconds
deep push through
remaining.
the Wyvern. I think they might want a secondary source of deep push, whether it's
5
mid
seconds
laner,
remaining.
the like Lena or something like that, or that they get a safe lane hero that offers
Reserve
something.
time.
So I don't think Wyvern and Bat are quite enough when you have to go through like a mech and maybe some magic resistance creeps. Or
It's
if they
kind
just want to take the fighting game, they could also go that way.
Dire team pick.
The nice thing about this Pugna pickup, right? It'll be a bit of a pain to the OD and the fact that the whole lineup will be casting a lot of spells, but I'm just not sold. I guess it depends on where this Pugna goes. Right now, it's looking like it could be their mid hero, not the support Pugna. I'm just not super sold on Pugna. I think he's very difficult to make work in a lineup.
I have this really bad feeling it's going to be a support Pugna and I'm going to cry.
You're going to
10
actually crack.
seconds
Never good.
remaining.
Never good.
Like I can
5
just see it
seconds
being a support
remaining.
Pugna. And I can completely understand the logic behind it. Like if you go like
Reserve time.
2-1-4, the ward is going to destroy OD until he gets a BKB. but it just feels so all in. And it basically feels like they're trying to cheese a win against a team that they consider better than them. At least
Radiant
it isn't the
team
support Pugna,
Yeah, I actually
but
really prefer this. I think it's still, I think, unconventional draft from Goomba, but at least it's not that support Pugna that seems to always have trouble in drafts unless it's clearly a superior team meeting a lower team.
now the only problem I think they have is it again if the laning stage doesn't quite click for them because their push is good, their team fight's
10
not the
seconds
best,
remaining.
but it's good enough to win a game.
And we have a Huskar.
Typical Russian things. I'll address that in a second. But if Goomba like actually are able to take the towers that they want to, assert the map control, and open it up so they have more room to farm, then suddenly their greed pays off a bit. If if it doesn't pay off and something like Huskar happens to you and you lose the game in the first 15 minutes, they can't really recover from that. I don't think they have okay high ground defense with like Pugna and Gyro, but the rest of the heroes don't really offer anything there. So. I think if they fall behind, they're really going to have to like do some yellow smokes or take Roche. And I don't think it's easy to do any of that against Polarity either. I'm not sure how the Huskar really fits in though,
10
because
seconds
I'm
remaining.
not a Huskar believer anymore, and I never was.
It's
5
it's
seconds remaining.
despite the nerfs, there's some magical damage it can avoid from the gyrocopter. Very good at gap closing towards him.
Oh wait, I have it. Okay, OD's hitting someone. Pugna decrepifies him so you can no longer hit him. Then you life break him, and he's dead.
That is an
That's
option.
that's the pick right there. And then he buys a refresher and an E-blade. And he rinses and repeats when there's no decrep to do it for him. But seriously, I suppose it works as a really strong fighting hero early that can maybe go into Goomba, but I, I think it has to be like really far ahead to be able to do that ever since the change. Because you can no longer like really easily armlet toggle all the magic damage, and it's not like they lack physical damage. If the Gyro gets like phase drum early, he hits hard enough that Huskar has to worry about it. Same thing with LD. If you get I'm not exactly sure what the true form raw's called, like Savage.
Savage Roar.
Uh,
They're both
no,
called
no, no,
Savage Roar.
are they?
Yeah.
Well, that's some amazing development from Valve. I mean the one that, no, it's Battlecry, right? The one that gives armor and damage when you're in alt form.
Rabid?
No, it's Battlecry.
Okay, it's Battlecry. I thought you meant because like you can Savage Roar on the Lone Druid.
No. When you cast your ult, you get
Yeah,
another
yeah, yeah.
ability.
I guess it's
And like,
Battlecry.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not really something I often yell out in team fights. Oh gosh, PQ, the battle cry, it's happened.
yeah, but you do realize it's
Yeah, you
like
see the bear buff.
80 damage
Yeah. It's
on the
huge,
bear,
but
and he's going to maul the shit out of you. Like, Huskar's very susceptible to that, so I'm not really sure why they went to it. I'm really interested though, because I hate this hero with a passion, but it's been dead for long enough that it might just be interesting.
I mean, as Lil's saying, let's have some fun. They're gonna go for it. Try to see what they can do. Now, Pugna, he's headed out. He's only got a Fairy Fire. Someone give this man some tangos. And this is a mid matchup I can safely say I'm not familiar with at all. I have to imagine, though, OD in typical fashion dominates.
Yeah, OD will win. But Pugna's got a high enough mana pool that if he does lose the mint, he's still going to get CS through spamming Never Blast, and he's got a decent attack animations on top of decent range, so I don't think it's going to be OD dominating unless the lane gets to like this kind of position where the OD can just walk past the creeps and trade right clicks with Pugna
No?
for enough that he actually gains from it instead of just, getting blasted to the face. But you could also say if like
30
Pugna just
seconds
drops
to
the
battle.
ward early, then you can't really trade with Arcane Orbs into the wards, so maybe it is doable. It's probably nowhere near as bad as some of the other matchups, but I still think OD will win. Especially if Doom ever comes in with like Astral to set up. Pugna is very susceptible.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem with
Or
heroes
even the
like
White,
Pugna,
but
like the
honestly.
Zeus. You don't have escapes. Your decrep isn't as useful getting away as you might like.
It's still good at like dodging auto attacks with Fairy Fire. You could maybe live, but the pressure's still applied, and you know Doom does a decent amount of magical damage. So if you decrap at like 100 life or something, Doom can still chase you down and kill you just with Scorched Earth.
Yep. Both
And
sides
it's not
gonna
like
get
Doom cares about diving a tower either.
both sides gonna get pretty good blocks in mid. It looks like Lil is up on that Doom, already just coming, throwing out some harass. Being a bit of a jerk. Pugna trying to use the decrap to stop the lost hits from Alpha Ninja, but not gonna be too much. We'll check back in on this lane in a second. DK Phobos on the Batrider up in top. So we've had a switch up.
It might just be the Lil plays like the more farming offlaners and DK plays the like space making ones. Because if you remember when he played in VP, like he very often played offlaners like Spirit Breaker and such that pretty much dictated the tempo of the game.
Yeah, also when I looked up their previous matches, I did see some role swapping, but
I mean, Lil played fine last game, so
yeah. I'm just surprised
Radiant's
that
middle
hasn't
tower is under attack.
stabilized. Is that the word I want? Very
not-
rarely do we see teams switch between support and core role.
I don't think it's too much of a bad thing though, because there was a really long period where like the offlaners could play things like Earthshaker or something, and some of the support players, sorry, Earthshakers I suppose, more the support role, and like maybe there's a Darkseer or something that goes in the jungle, and the Earthshaker plays like the offlane from level 1, but it's still your support player playing the Earthshaker.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I think it's fine, like unless you're transitioning from like a support role to, you know, like a mid or carry. I don't think it's as bad.
Additionally, here Lil is pretty much playing the greediest support ever. He's going to be jungle dooming, so it's like they're both playing the offlane. They may in
And
fact
look how
both
much
be in a
space
core
he
role.
made.
Yeah, because
Of course.
he won't go down, but the gyrocopter is below 100 health.
And Ben's gonna have to sell them, and because they were away for a while, Gyros ended up on 3 CS while Husker has 7. And this lane was meant to like apply a lot of early pressure. They might get a kill here with the Troll Prat, but
Oh, there's the swap over of the Nightmare. There's going to be a big old rocket barrage. First blood actually happens up in top, but they do manage to bring down Husker. Deciding not to go for the Wyvern as well. It looks like... Oh, okay. Are we just motoring Couriers? The Decrep comes out. He's so slow, not going to be able to kill off that thing's floppy little tail. And Lil gonna have to walk it off. There might be another Decrep with his... Netherblast with his name on it. Lil going to get the bounty and will walk away.
yeah, killing Dooms, like he's 700 HP at level 1. Like, it's hard life. Not many heroes do that much damage at level 3.
I mean, yeah, that dude...
And just look
Doom
at
is
how
tanky.
like DK Phobos is destroying this lone druid. Like this is, I'm imagining most of it is just him being a better player.
I mean, he also managed to get that first blood. Yes.
Shouldn't happen. You literally can't die. I'm sorry. Like you have boots on your hero instead of like because you should win the CS early, and you savage roar him away with your bear. Like it's a misplay if you die. I think.
Meanwhile,
And now
in the...
because of that death, like look at how far ahead he is. He has 25 CS.
Yeah.
He's having a field day, and Batrider having a field day can, like, if he gets a 6 to 9 minute blink, something ridiculous, before Goomba feel like they're ready to 5-man, it's really easy for him to stop them. Because normally, like, if you get a 10 to 12 minute blink, they might have like their mech or just the levels ready and they're grouped up. Because you're blinking into multiple heroes and you don't have a 4-staff or anything to help you get away quickly, they're just gonna turn and kill you. And then you pretty much just fed yourself.
Oh, Chen has gotten the Hadoken creep, the strongest of them all. Rocket gonna be coming in for the Husker. They've turned their attention to the Wyvern though, and there is really no save. There's gonna be the Cold Embrace. It just delays the inevitable. They have a lot of magic damage, and now maybe just the auto attacks to finish it off. Doom thinking about coming in, but nothing he can do there. The Wyvern will fall. But of course, while this happens, DK Phobos is just having a field day up in top lane.
Yeah, this is scary for them. At least when like he does what he just did, where he pushes the lane in with Firefly, like Lone Druid shouldn't miss any CS under tower, and it's hard for Batrider to contest when he doesn't have Firefly up.
So, Taking a look, we haven't talked about the mid lane. It does look like the OD is pretty far ahead of the Pugna when it comes to last hits. We were kind of expecting that. And in fact, OD does have the creep wave kind of exactly in that spot you talked about. But Pugna having a lot of trouble getting close.
Yeah, and it's not just for CS gap, but it's for Denice also. Like, he's a full level ahead. And that's pretty much making up for the fact that the Doom's not really gotten too much done early. He's only level 2. He's pretty much just been eating Chen creeps and being, like, annoying more than doing anything.
Yeah, we
They're
actually
still
see
coming
this.
out ahead, despite that.
We see this quite a bit, I feel, in Dota, where folks are annoying, although maybe not closing in on objectives, and it can be a problem as the game goes later. But so far, we can see that Polarity have a slight lead. Nothing to write home about, just the early game things. And Doom not really feeling any pressure. He's got Devour. He's gonna farm no matter what.
Yeah, he's got Tranquils and Orb up, so he's going for the more aggressive route instead of like the Iron Talon farming based, which I think is good. And you
Meanwhile,
know, this Huskar somehow managed to keep on par with the Gyro. CS wise, he's a few behind, but you'd expect him to be further, I think, with how much Goomba prioritized this lane.
we have failed motor attempts in the mid lane. Actually standing on items. And again, on that bottom lane, Huskar gonna go pick up some shoes. He's got a Bane after him, but they'll throw out that dot so that they slow him down. Celery taking quite a bit of damage from the Octic Bone. And there's just, this game, I don't expect it to be terribly action-packed, at least until laning breaks down.
I think it's just going to be when the bat gets his blink, because he's 800 away. I suppose even if Doom wants, he can do what he's doing now and just set up for an easy tower dive. The Bane has a TP, the Chen doesn't, so this is pretty easy information to get. They can just do what they're
Oh
doing now, and he
no.
misses the Savage Roar,
Yeah,
so
that's not good. He doesn't have it anymore, and he is going to burn Baby Burn. They have a TP in to at least stop some of the burning. They're just going to turn around and kill both of them. Auto attacks, they will end up losing. Lil, can DK Phobos get some more? He's going to toggle off that aggro. He's still chasing. The Firefly's going to run out shortly if he's not careful, but he should have more than enough sticky name power. The Flame Break going to be what helps push it over the edge, and yeah, that's an easy kill. DK Phobos on a killing spree.
and they killed the bear before they killed the hero, so that's an additional 300 gold plus XP.
Radiant structures are fortified.
So big win for Polarity there.
It's, okay, Goomba overstaying their welcome a little bit. Wee Wambo. Taking a bit of harassment there. Not too much the Doom can do. Scorched Earth on CD. But again, up in top lane, just such a hard life for this lone druid. We are now seeing that DK Phobos is 1,500 gold ahead of the next person on the net worth chart.
And he just got an Arcane Rune as well on top of his Blink, so his first lasso is going to be, you know, what is it, like a 60-second cooldown instead of a
Dire's
90
middle
now.
tower is under attack.
He's got the money to smoke as well, so his supports don't have to buy that for him. I think as long as his latches, he's going to make his team's life so easy. If he just secures for Huskar's farm now or goes and kills for Pugna mid, like, there's just so much like Goomba have to worry about now.
Yeah,
It
70
might be
seconds.
fairly obvious because he's not top right now pressuring the LD.
At the same time, Goomba is down here committing for the push. They're now reaching into the jungle, searching for something. Doom shows up. There it is, the Blink Lasso with the Arcane. He's gonna burn them all down, pulling them through. He's also getting more sticky napalm stacks up than he should be able to. DK Phobos taking quite a bit of damage, but he racks up another kill. In trouble with Slash Strike, but blinks away before he gets hit by the Nether Blast or anything. Hadoken coming on through. DK Phobos playing with Slash. He wants his food. He's trying to get those sticky napalm stacks up. He may be in trouble though. The Nether Ward is down, and DK Phobos realizes he cannot continue. In the meantime, they manage to get the pick up onto Bane. They are still playing with Slash Strike. Doesn't have Nether Strike up right now, and he will burn.
And that is exactly what they need to not have happen. In that situation, if you can just...
Oh
like,
no, why is the Gyrocopter coming back in? He doesn't have cooldown. He doesn't have anything he can really do. Rocket Barrage gonna be his only refuge. DK Phobos gonna TP out. We'll get it. Rocket won't hit, and they will all escape just fine.
And that's a 4k gold lead, 10 minutes in, where the other team, yet again, they kind of need to not be this far behind.
And a lot of this, I mean, in both games, a lot of it on the offlaners. DK Phobos and Lil both doing really well when they were each the offlaner respected in each game, and DK Phobos is so far ahead. He's gonna have a 4 stealth up. Blink.
Radiant's middle
Maybe
tower
another
is
item.
under
I don't know. He
attack.
can buy himself a gem. Sub 20 minutes.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes Aether Lens first.
Oh yeah, we're gonna grab this slash strike. We've got a lasso. He can use it. Who needs it? Doesn't even need to bloody use it. Just flame breaks him back. Gonna burn him down.
I like that.
Radiant's
A lot of
bottom
players
tower
would
is
just
under
use it
attack.
there for the sake of making the kill easier, but it's way
Radiant
better you keep the
structures
pressure
are
up by
fortified.
not using it. Because now they can just get this lone druid kill. As soon as Far flies up, he can just go like this, and lone druid's in trouble. Yet
Oh
again.
no, what is this dive though?
Radiant's bottom
They're going
tower is
for
under
Pasha,
attack.
but again, on an omelet toggling hero, having a blast. Gonna try to find someone to life break. We've got support coming in on OD from the top. They should, oh, nice nightmare there by Celery. Pasha just omelet toggling. And it looks like that'll be it for the chase. Really well done there. And they get the tower on bottom. So Goomba showing some signs of life here.
Yeah, support's making some space. This is gonna force a Batrider down here for no real reason. He's just taking the CS, and maybe they can push the tower with the armlet,
Radiant's
but
middle tower
into
is
cooldown,
under
it's risky. Meanwhile, Pugner's just blasting mid, so this is like the best thing Goomba have had happen to them in the past like 2
Radiant's
minutes.
middle
Well,
tower
the entire
is
game.
under attack.
Only
I mean-
downside was Doom was getting his levels, but you can't have a win in every lane.
I think Goomba have shown that they know what to do with space. They just sometimes have trouble finding it. And I think a lot of that is experience, as we talked about in the draft. Polarity, a team that has a lot of players who have competitive LAN experience. It's hard to play up against that.
It looks like even though the smoke got cancelled,
Oh,
they're still gonna
Afaninde.
catch.
There is a cooldown with your name on it. Rocket Barrage. Gonna just get amplified by that D-crap. Doom coming in on the backlines. He's dropped his Doom. They're gonna get that easy kill onto Slash, and now Pasha pounding away at people. They've gotten rid of the Nether Ward. In comes Batrider. DK Phobos liable just to murder everybody. He's getting sticky napalm stacks out. He's boning them down. They're gonna grip one, pull him back. Not quite able to catch. Oh no, the jump in onto Celery. He's gonna burn down to a gyrocopter. Even though he's sent back and he's coming back in, will he be able to find anything, or will he just burn down? The cold embrace saving lives. He will get the Huskar, but he dies anyway.
That was not a TP he wanted to make, I don't think.
Dire's
He
structures
probably
are
comes out
fortified.
ahead in terms of like how much gold he lost as opposed to what he gained, but
Dire's middle tower
I
is
suppose
under
it keeps
attack.
the
Did
tier 1
gain
up.
500.
Yeah, if the Huskar was still up, I think that tower takes at least another 600-700 damage. Maybe even goes down. And
So
it's
it's gonna
still some
be
space for LD,
four-
but
Oh, not quite.
I think he's still in trouble unless he roots. Because there's a haste.
Well, we'll see. He doesn't have the Savage Roar. There's going to be the Astral. Rooting is going to be much more difficult. And yeah, this is a burnt down Lone Druid. DK Phobos going to be 9-0.
One might say he's carrying his team. It's not like they're even doing badly. You know, Lil's got a 30-minute Vlad's on
An article of faith.
his what was kind of starved out Doom, because he didn't do too much for the first few minutes other than eat Shen creeps.
I hear somebody being sucked off. Looks like Astral Imprisonment going to slow that business down. Trying to get rid of the ward. The cooldown is being dropped. Slash Strike will be able to throw out another blast in a few seconds. But instead, it looks like the push will be deterred. Goomba unable to find anything in this mid lane.
And with cooldown down, that's a very easy tower push, I think. And now DK has his 4-staff as well. It's even easier to make the pickoffs happen.
Dire's middle tower
He's
is
still
under
like
attack.
just over 2k ahead of everyone else. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, he's 2.3k gold ahead of people. It's a little ridiculous. And the
Dire's
rich just
middle
get
tower
richer.
has fallen.
So,
The facts of life with Llama down under.
thanks, PQ. I don't actually think, I guess Dota economy, because the rich can, like, buy a Midas. Maybe it holds true in Dota. It doesn't super. The rich don't actually get richer in Dota.
Yeah,
'cause-
they do, because the rich people take your tier 1 towers, and then it opens up like this area, and then they
But
can
in
level
Dota,
up
rich
they're
people
richer.
don't get the rubber band effect.
Yeah, but they're worth more, so, you know, they have the items to not get rubber banded because they play better.
We have a lasso coming out onto the bait who's now stuck on the high ground. May as well just leave him there. They're gonna knock him back, so Celery, he'll die. Actually, I think the best thing that can happen there, because he did not have a way to get down for another minute, and they will murder some Chen creeps. They'll try to send them back home. Will any escape this senseless murder? Actually, not sent back home, so they'll die, because they're sent back to the Chen.
One of them died. The useless one lived.
Always how it seems to go. Finally, this mid tower is taken for Goomba, and as you said, it's something good, but DK Phobos, he has a 4-star. He may just jump up. Lost you backwards. Really restrained here, not kind of jumping into 3 of them.
It might be a bit over ambitious, as he doesn't have lasso. So I think once he gets Aether Lens, okay, he's not even going for it. I like the idea to go for something bigger when he's this far ahead this early. I bet it doesn't really have solo kill potential as the game goes on, because you just don't quite have the damage. But if you go
Oh,
ag,
they're dropping the call down onto Lil, but this will not be enough damage. That's a Doom you're after, and guess who's here? Doom on 1. Lasso actually just came up, so he could still 4-star forwards and use it. Are we gonna see it grab? No, he's just gonna burn him down. He doesn't bloody need to.
and blinks him for the next.
Yep, someone's... Oh, okay, finally there's
Pull it
going to be
off.
the nightmare. Okay, he can't
Dive,
gap
boys,
close this.
dive.
He can't... Oh, doesn't need to gap close it, because guess who's here? It's Alpha Ninja. He's gonna trap 1 up. Goodness, they drop that ult under the ward and lose a lot of mana. But it doesn't matter. Polarity, just having fun with their food. Gonna murder everyone. Haven't even cleared the tier 1, and they're looking to kill this Chen, just diving past DK Phobos. Will he use the lasso for fun? No, he doesn't need to. Can he last hit? He gets it. DK Phobos, 12-0 and 4. And the Chen creep dies.
Is under attack.
And LD's about to get caught out bottom.
Oh gosh, because they
Up.
still have the lasso. He jumps forwards. He's pulling him backwards. What can you do? Somebody needs a root, but they're never going to get a root. There it is. The Savage Roar does manage to come out, but
That's
the Flame Break,
awful.
it's going to stop the TP. And now it's just Doom and DK
Gyro to the
Phobos
rescue.
chasing him down. It won't matter. It's a cooldown. What's it going to do? The auto attack's going to be enough. Doom gets this kill. DK Phobos getting awfully low, though. Skidder, he really wants this kill. He knows how big it would be. They're taking a lot of damage on the Doom as well. He's going to blink away on the gyrocopter. That is a level 1 rocket, so DK Phobos is just fine. And poor gyrocopter tried to do what he could, but nobody, it feels like. Oh, this may finally be DK Phobos' downfall. He's blinking away.
Fine.
Man's never gonna die.
No, actually, I'm kind of surprised Doom didn't go for Blade Mail, because I look at this draft and I'm like, you've run into Pugner, you pop it, you've run into Gyro and pop it, and they both die. So, I think the Vlad's is good for his team, but I'm kind of surprised he didn't go Blade Mail.
I did not realize
Right there.
Bane only
The
just
Gyro
got
just-
level 6. Which is good, because you can do this business. But I was more pointing out, okay, we're gonna see a little bit of murder on our sides. There is the life break going out onto Slash Strike. That doesn't save you so much, the decrep, as much as you'd want. Sanity's Eclipse even dropped, and it doesn't matter. They got Alpha Ninja so low, but they're still not gonna find it. We have the lasso on the other side of the fight, pulling Wimwambo further and further away. He's gonna burn down to death. Gyrocopter, he wants DK Phobos. He can smell how much gold he'll get, but the forced off to the high ground. The rocket will hit him, but it won't matter. DK Phobos actually won't get this TP out. But nobody's going to be able to do anything about that. He'll just make his way home. Oh, and there's the life break onto Skidder. Pasha has a lot of oh, actually only 1 point in it, so he's taking a fair bit of damage, but doesn't even matter. DK Phobos even thinking about coming in from the side.
Oh, he's not going Ags. He's going Octarine. I'm disappointed.
I
Yep.
mean, they haven't really been grouped up. There's been a lot of single pick-off.
Yeah, but that's why I think it's good, because you get 400 damage
Dire's
for
middle
free.
tower is under
Kind of.
attack.
You know, 400 damage for 4k gold. It's like a Dagon. And you can hit on 2 people. Like the bear and the bear.
Yeah, I've
Like,
actually
you guys
seen
want
people...
lasso?
Oh, we have a nice little Atos onto Celery. He's gonna get saved there by Slash Strike, but it might just be delaying the inevitable Arctic Burn, still causing problems. They've knocked out that ward, and Celery will fall. This Nether Ward really doing nothing. Lone Druid back up on top again. We haven't even talked about his items. He is working on getting that Radiance up, but it's not going to be here for quite a while.
I mean, he's close to the rally, but it's getting to a point where is it really going to matter? I mean, Lil has an Atos. Alpha Ninja has an Atos. This bear's not going to have a very fun time. And now Roche is happening as well, so I'm guessing it's gonna go onto the OD and he just starts playing even more aggressive. And Goomba really don't have an answer. Like, Cognite is poor. Chen's still working on his mech at 20 minutes when he had the components at around 12. He just hasn't really been able to get anything done because his team's so far behind. Like, the one upside was that the Lone Druid just dodged a gank. So instead of dying for the, what, 5th time, he's only died for 4. That's the one upside.
We've got a Fiend's Grip. Will they be able to finally get a kill here? Sure, they lost someone for it, but that's a big kill for Goomba. And I'm finally off of hero level. Sorry, I was just astounded. Oh no, they've killed off the gyro and now Slash Strike's gonna fall as well. Pasha even just goes back to the ward. He can murder the bear here. He doesn't need to run. He may just poke away at both of them. He's given a go onto Scabo. Now, just killing off that bear has to Savage Roar him away, and guess who's coming from the north? DK Phobos. He's there, at the ready. I don't know what to say.
Game's over, like, sorry if you think otherwise, but...
I just try to be positive, PQ, and then this happens.
Like last game, they really had an out in the Ember. Like, he could maybe win that game if Polarity kept diving a bit too much and didn't pay enough respect to him and didn't focus him down, and maybe his team got the defensive items to counteract the offensive items. They had a way of winning. This game, Jaro's a really good hero at holding high ground when he's big, and he has like an MKB butterfly, and he can just go in the front lines with his helm and lifesteal up whatever you're dealing against him, and kill half of your team with black. Lone Druid, he's not that good at holding high ground, but he's very good at like split pushing, cutting waves with radiance and such. He's so far away from it that by the time he has it, I kind of think it's the wrong item to even go for. Like, if he had a Maelstrom or something, maybe he could actually do something when the high ground push comes. But I think the high ground push will come before the Aegis. Before the Radiance even gets up. And Pugna's a joke of a high ground defense hero if you don't have the Nether Ward lights so far back.
Yeah, it's very difficult to place that in such a way that it can be effective in burning their mana. We are going to be seeing over 15,000 net worth lead, over 14,000 experience lead, and DK Phobos just inside of their base because he can be. I know we keep stressing it, but DK Phobos has played this game really well. Pasha coming forwards, he's just gonna get the ward. It's deep inside their base, and Pasha just doesn't care. He's right up in their faces. It's Chaos Knight all over again. We've got a grip from downtown. There's gonna be the Nightmare, but DK Phobos doesn't matter if he's Nightmare or not. He's picked up Chen. There's no buyback there. We're going to be seeing a cooldown. It does manage to hit on a lot of their heroes, but then the Winter's Curse, they're focusing over onto Celery / Strike. He's going to get the suck off. Finally, we're seeing some of that action, but a Doom over onto Skitter. Celery goes down. No buybacks on any of their heroes. Celery burned into death over here. And I'm not quite sure. Yeah, finally Celery goes down, doing Skitter. And they TP out.
Getting the trade, because Lone Druid, he's gonna die again, most likely.
Yeah, there's a 4-star. There's the Firefly. Scabo going down. He tries to TP. Isn't enough. GG's a cold. 14-0-9 on DK Phobos. And Polarity, kind of the only team who wasn't the underdog who won today.
Well, I think they proved why they're not the underdog, though. The first game, there was a few mistakes here and there when they were trying to push, but overall it was pretty clean, and they just kind of outplayed them the entire way. Second game, I wouldn't even say it was a draft win because they picked Huskar, but the other team had Pugnus, so I think that's a pretty 50-50 toss-up. But again, Polarity, like, they won their lanes, and Goomba didn't know how to deal with it. And that's really why they lost at the end of the day. And also, I don't think the Lone Druid should have that much trouble against a Batrider. I can see how, like, the Batrider's able to win the lane, but if you're not used to playing that lane, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. So, not too much to say about that one. Really well played there from Polarity. Really showing their stuff, and I like seeing the flexibility that they have in who's playing what and their drafting. I think Goomba put up a good showing, but, you know, they also got a really tough opponent here. Really experienced CIS team. So, Other than that, guys, that's going to be our coverage done for the day. There'll be more continuing tomorrow. I believe Cuddle Guy is on that, so you'll get to enjoy his beautiful voice. Thank you so much, PqMz, for joining me. Once again, I'm Llama Down Under. PqMz joined me. Or Z. Brain, thank you.
Z-
Yeah, it's
I
Z.
am English,
But
but
you say
I think
Z.
Z sounds
Yeah.
better
Either
because I
way,
was brought up on American TV shows.
oh,
So
horrible things. Either way, PQ doesn't have social media. I do. Any and all feedback can be sent to me on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. Give me your feedback for PQ because we'd both love to make the casting better for you guys. We will see you again next time. Peace out, guys.